All right, Carmelita.
All right, good evening, everybody. We're going to begin our particular meeting, and at this particular time, we're going to make sure that everyone has their agenda. Today's date, we normally start with a moment of silence or prayer. We're not trying to offend anyone, but if you don't believe in a higher being, let me know. Give me a wink, a nod, a shimmy. Other than that, then I'm going to start praying. Father God, we thank you for the opportunity you've allowed us to come together. Lord, thank you for the sisters and brothers who are assembled so that we can have a meeting of the minds. Lord God, we appreciate the time that you have allowed us to assemble on this particular day in your garden. We ask that you use us as your vessels, the hoes, the shovels, the rakes, to make us do whatever's necessary in this society of 15 districts so that we can assemble and come to some form of resolve with the problems that we face. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, we're going to have a roll call and determination of quorum. Carmelita Earls, present.
Dr. DeAndre Root is present.
Arewa Najee Kua, present.
Fantastic. So we have 3 of 3. We cannot start without a quorum of 2/3. We have 3-3, so therefore we're ready to begin. At this particular time, I'm going to pass the mic to Dr. Ritter so he can go ahead with our public comment.
All right, y'all. So the public comment section is for you to voice any concerns that you may have. I'd also like to make you aware of if you would not like to do it while camera is rolling, you can also do it after, and keep it anonymous if you'd like. Otherwise, generally in this period, you have about 2 minutes to express whatever issues or concerns that you have in public safety or police accountability. And because this is a elected meeting, everything is captured and recorded, and it does go into official records. Anybody would like to say anything? Oh, you can also use this time. You don't also have to complain. You could highlight some things that you like about the 15th district if that is something that you'd like to do at this moment.
Everything's good on the block? Everything's copacetic?
Y'all don't like the 15th? Well, I would like to say something. Okay, wait a minute. I can't even get that. Okay, hold on. Let me find it. Let me find it. Got a couple of chats here. And
What you sent us?
yeah, I wanted just to read that out. Hold on. Now we got too many things. Right. You're right. Is it in that one? Okay, so it is. That's in the one with the cat picture?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's see.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so one thing I wanted to mention. This was a post that 15th District put up, and I think this is just some good work that they've done, so I want to make sure I put this on public record, because they, despite how we may feel about police, they definitely serve a great purpose, and this is one example of such. And so online they put that while conducting a narcotics investigation at the 500 block of North Pine today, a subject fled through an apartment, leaving the doors ajar. 1563A, which is the beat, located the individual in front of the building and conducted a name check, revealing an outstanding warrant for larceny. The officers then secured the apartment doors and discovered a black grocery bag containing 112 bags of heroin and 104 crack cocaine rocks. The total weight of the seized narcotics was 180 grams of heroin and 27 grams of cocaine. A narcotics case was completed and the evidence was inventoried. This operation resulted in a significant disruption to the narcotics spot, causing substantial product loss. And just kudos to 1563A for their outstanding work. And so, listen, we complain a lot about being plagued by drugs in our community, and so right there was an opportunity for the officers to seize, a nice amount of drugs and keep some of them off the streets. One of the things that I'd like to mention about that as well is, as I'm sitting here looking at National Overdose Awareness Day, our community is plagued by a lot of overdose, and so we now have a lot of Narcan, containers and canisters all around the neighborhood, and so when things like this get found, you know, especially because they contain some of these illicit substances that are causing these overdoses, you know, that is definitely cause for us to rejoice and really give kudos to our 15th district. And so I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that during this meeting if no one had heard of that, but they are doing some good work, at least in that realm.
Right.
Yep. Any other thoughts though before we move on past this section? Okay. All right. So next we will move to District Council member updates. We'll bring it to Arewa.
Okay, thank you. So I just have some announcements. I unfortunately, everything is in color and I can't, make like copies for everybody. But I'll put them out on the table if you want to take pictures of them. So tomorrow there is going to be a Take Back the Block. It says join the Mayor's Office of Community Safety, Mayor Brandon Johnson, Alderman Mitz, CPD leadership, city departments and agencies, community partners and others at a community rally in your neighborhood. And it is going to be on Chicago Avenue and North Laurel Avenue, and that's tomorrow, Friday, July 11th at 3 o'clock p.m. And then there is, this is celebrating progress as gun violence declines and community violence intervention scales up. So it says, who is this? It's community leaders, outreach workers, law enforcement leaders, elected officials, business and philanthropic leaders. It's the CBI convening to publicly update Chicago on SC2 and celebrate positive trends in violence reduction. It is going to be on July 15th at 10:30 a.m. It's a 1-hour program. It starts at 11. It's going to be at Farragut High School, 2345 South Christiana Avenue in the Little Village community. And on a side note, so SC2, Scaling Community Violence Intervention for a Safer Chicago. They are celebrating 1 year, and they're going to be celebrating that on Monday at the Institute for Nonviolence. And they are going to share some of the numbers since they have implemented this program. It has truly been helping kind of reduce the number of violent crimes and things that are happening in our community. And Austin is unique in the sense that it is the only one there. I think it's one in Inglewood, Humboldt Park, Garfield. Austin is the only one with a faith-based component, and so that is actually who is over doing the mobilization now on Corcoran. I never say that street right. Corcoran. I never say it right. Yeah, so that's who's over on Corcoran. So we do have that that component going for us. So the scaling, just a little bit about it. It is comprised of, I don't know all the organizations off the top of my head, but I know it's Bill, IMBC, What About Us, Hope, CDC, who am I missing? I'm missing somebody. I said Bill, Westside Health Authority. And so they have an outreach team. And then once, the outreach connects with, young people that may be in need, they try to connect with potential shooters or shooters, and they get them connected to education, behavioral health and wellness, as well as workforce development. And so that is some of the things that are helping to drive the numbers down in our community. So I just wanted to lift that up. Then there's also restorative justice training, community being community, a time of learning, cultivating relationships, and deepening connections on July. It's a 4-day training from July 14th through the 17th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Friendship Baptist Church, 5200 West Jackson. And that's going to be sponsored by Build, and the contact person, Edwina Hamilton, her information is on the flyer. And they're also doing a healing, wellness, and community. It says grounded and empowered, a community healing experience, guided sound bath meditation for stress relief, insightful health education session for the community, and free to community members. That's going to be on Saturday, July 19th, 2025 at 11 a.m. at Build. And the last thing I have, there will be a community dialogue community dialogue announcement. There's a public safety conversation called A Time to Talk. That is going to be on July 22nd. It is also going to be at Bill 5100 West Harrison Street. So they will be serving refreshments, and this will be from 6 until 8 o'clock. They will be going over the use of force policy. And right now, the de-escalation, response to resistance, and use of force policy is on CPD's website, and it is up for public comment. And this was something that came through the consent decree. It is like an opportunity that community members have to look at the policy and to make recommendations. And per the consent decree, the department has to listen to what the community is saying. And I actually so I'm one of the leading organizers with the Consent Decree Coalition, and I actually served as the co-chair for the Use of Force Working Group when we first came up with revisions for the use of force policy. And one of the major things that we did, we changed that name from use of force to de-escalation, response to resistance, because we know language is important. And when you're constantly just hearing use of force, that's where your mindset is. It's like, no, the first thing they need to learn how to do is de-escalate a situation to the best of their ability. And the response to resistance came after George Floyd, because there was a lot of incidents with community members who were peacefully protesting, but police saw them all the same, and so they were hurting and harming people who were, exercising their right, their freedom, their free right to, protest. And so that's why y'all got to do better at resisting, because these things are going to come up, and we don't want people, getting hurt when they shouldn't be getting hurt. And so we're going to try to organize a community training, like to talk about how community members can give voice, but we want to do it as a collective, because it's a lot of information and it's a hard to just process alone. So we're going to do it together. We're going to be at the Ruta Center. We haven't got a date and all that. We haven't got that far yet. This just popped up today, actually. So we're gonna we'll get together and talk about that. But we're gonna invite community out to go through the policy with us and to make some recommendations towards the use of force policy. Because it is one of the reasons why our city is paying out so much money in wrongful deaths, and as well as abuses and neglects. It comes from that use of force. It comes to how they interact with people sometimes. So yeah, well, they're not paying for their tax dollars is paying for that. But anyway, yeah, we need to take a look at that policy and work on it together. So we'll keep everyone posted on that. Thank you.
Right. All right. So again, I'm Dr. DeAndre Rudis. You know what? When we have new folks to the meeting, we typically like to mention what our roles are. So I'd like to pass the mic back, and then Array will break down what her role is for the district council.
Okay, thank you. So I am the nominator for the 15th district, and what we do is so each there are 22 districts. Each district has 3 district counselors, and we all have our own distinct role, and I am the nominator. This means I get with 22 of the other district counselors who are nominators, and we decide on who we should send forth to the mayor that should sit on the community commission. And so that's another part of the district council. I like to say that's the inward facing, because they work more on policy. They work more closely with the city. They can also determine set, I don't say rules and regulations, but they could
Goals.
They can set goals for the superintendent.
Yeah.
They can also give a vote of no confidence for the superintendent, which they recently did for the head of COPA. That's how that whole situation went, as well as for the police board. So that's what we do. So, and we just had to fill a seat on the west side. Actually, one of our counselors resigned, and so now we have, I can't ever think of her first name. Gina Piamonte. So yeah, she's representing the west side now, but that's what I do. I am the nominator.
Thank you. All right, y'all. So I'm Dr. DeAndre Rudis. I'm the community engagement specialist for the group. So essentially, my job is to connect with community, and sometimes that looks like connecting with officers and being a bridge between that connection, if that is the case. And with that, I also make sure that you all are kind of connected to us in various ways. So one of the ways is this newsletter that you have here. It is essentially a summation of our meeting. So if you were unable to attend, you'd get one of these. You'd also be able to go online, YouTube, and look at the meeting as well. So it's always recorded for those that can't attend. A couple things that you can find on this newsletter is that we have a public safety survey. The QR code got cut off this time around, but typically you'll see this QR code here. You can fill out the public safety survey for us. Basically, we just wanted to track and see how we're doing over time. Obviously, we started this role 2 years ago. At the end of the 4 years, we would love to see that things improve, and we would like to attribute it to some of the work that we've done, you know? The other thing is that we have a contact us card. And so again, as I mentioned, sometimes folks may not want to publicly state what their issue is. They can always do that privately. And so you use this QR code, you can contact us. This goes directly to myself, and I can always talk to you one-to-one. Speaking of talking to you, one of the things that have not gone anywhere, but I would love for it to go somewhere, is listening tours. My goal is to try to go to some of these blocks and just have one-to-one conversation with you all. Again, it would not be in a meeting format in which, you know, it'd be recorded. It'd just be us talking about public safety and the other challenges that you may be facing in police accountability in general. And so if that's something you all would be interested in, please lean on us, and me especially, so that I could do that, because I would love to get one of those going at some point. The other thing that I do is keep track of things that come up during meetings. So in the past, we've had trespass affidavits, we've had noise complaints. Some of these things come up, and so when they do, I start to go find the ordinances or whatever legal piece that is connected to it, and put it in a database so that community can be abreast of that. You also find all of our newsletters in there as well, so that's something that I also put under my belt. Last thing I'll say is that like Councilor Winters was saying, Akua was saying, we are looking to do what we call a Know Your Rights. So quarterly, we do a Know Your Rights session that focuses on an issue that was brought up during a meeting. We wanted to focus on concealed carry, and we still may. A lot of people don't know the rules around concealed carry, and I think it's important, especially in light of the young man that was shot by the lifeguard over in Douglas Park. We definitely need folks to understand concealed carry rules. And that still may go on in August, but what we want to do that takes precedent, because we have an opportunity to chime in on these policies that, you know, the police enact against us. We want to make sure that you all are educated and understand how to go online and add your public comment to it, so that you can actually control the outcome. And so we'll be doing that again. It'll be at the Rudis Center. I'm located 5044 West Madison. It'll be next month. The goal will be to try to get it maybe top of the month. You know, we're still essentially in the first half of July, so we got about a month or so still. And we can set that up. It'll probably be a Thursday. Sometimes that seems like the best day to get people out. Yeah, and so please sign in if you have not, because one of the ways that we keep track with folks and release this type of information is through the email. So once it comes up, we'll make sure that you all are abreast of it. And is there anything else? Oh, and the very, very last thing I'll say. So recently, Tuesday, we had a special meeting with the commander. One of the things that I'm trying to do is launch what I call a community solutions committee. My work from New York University essentially led me to this role, which during that role, my goal was to build relationship between police and community. We did that by bringing community, residents, and other stakeholders, whoever needed to be involved in the issue, to the table, and we strategized outcomes, right? So what that looked like is if there was drug sales on a block, we brought the BCOs, is the officers we work with, to the block. We had them meet the neighbors. Then we did a follow-up cookout, Then we followed up with the alderman, had him change the position of a camera. We followed up with the ward soup, had him cut some trees down, right? Ultimately, that resulted in the drug stoppage. Now, we know that things just move in our community, right? So essentially that was the outcome. But for that particular block where that issue was concentrated, things went down, calls for service went down. Want to do the same thing as a district council person. And so talk to the commander. He's receptive to it, and what that looks like, it would be us working with the district coordination officers in the community, and wherever those issues exist, we would have a once a month meeting for 1 hour, and we would strategize how we all could be involved in it. So when I talked about that one block, so the neighbors came out and they interacted with the officers. They did the cooking, right? They made sure the alderman made sure the ward suit was involved and moved the camera and blah blah blah, right? And so everybody has to be involved with the community solutions committee. And so just want to make note of that, because that's something that we are trying to launch. It may take a little bit of time to actually launch that, because I think there's some pushback a little bit, considering that it's similar to the district strategic plan, but we're gonna work that out and we're gonna get that launched, because our community deserves, this hyper local work that we do, and we want to be a little bit more involved in some of the issues that come up. So with that, I will now pass the mic.
Thank you, Dr. Rudis. I'm Carmelita Earls, the chair of 15 district councils. Welcome, everybody. What I just want you to do is realize that in this setting, I want everybody to just take a moment and just breathe. Breathe in and hold it. Release it through your mouth. Take another deep breath. As far as you can hold it, and hold it. Through your nose. Release it through your mouth. Now, when you take out all your breath, cough. That's indicative that if we just took a moment when we are engaged in things, a lot of the things, you would be the difference between someone's life and death. I want to appeal to your humanity. Oftentimes we get so caught up in our feelings and things go from 0 to 100 like that. But if we take a moment to take a deep breath and let it all out, and even after you thought you let it out, you still had more because you coughed. So there's always something in the till. You are a change agent. We as district councils are basically the chair, similar to that chair that you're sitting on. Glorified secretary, that's all it means. Just gave me a nice little 5-letter word, but it don't mean nothing. That man over there makes my job very, very easy, because administratively I'm just to and make sure that you are informed. But what I want you to understand is that we're like a 3-braided cord. Individually, we're just a strand that somebody can compass and cut. But once we braid our institutional knowledge and our cognitive intelligence together, it's kind of tough to cut a braid, You may come at it, but you got to come back at it again. And that's what we're like. We're like a triangle. Whenever you ever gone to a fight back to back with somebody, can't nobody sneak up on you? Well, we got 3 sides covered. So when you come at one of us, you got to come at the other 2, because we're not going to let you surprise them. So that being said, okay, I had a shirt on underneath this. It says you can come. I'm half Jesus, half Peter. Run up on me and see which one you get. It's underneath the shirt. So that being stated, that's the way we need to operate in 15th district. We just had a situation with the 15th district police last Friday, 2 Fridays. It will be 2 weeks on Friday, right here at Fulton and Lockwood. And I'm so glad that the turnout was not with anyone being shot, anyone going to jail and not necessarily having an opportunity to come out. That was a funeral, and the funeral came back to the house. They were having a little repast, and after the repast, they were spilling over into the street. And then someone from the neighborhood called, and the police came. Unfortunately, the police was having a bad day. And instead of him coming, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, he came with a little puffed up attitude. And, somebody just buried their loved one. They got a puffed up attitude. We already have a cultural difference, because you, as a Caucasian, may come into a black neighborhood thinking that this is a different time and day, and it is not. And I may not have taken that deep breath. So one thing led to another. They didn't de-escalate, they escalated. Unfortunately, the police officer tried to body slam a sister, and the sisters came to the sister's rescue. And then the brothers came to the sister's rescue. The police officer found himself on his back. I'm sure y'all saw it. About 100 cars from Lake to Laramie to Long. I couldn't even get home, to almost Madison. Here's the interesting part about it. His partner didn't even try to help him because he knew he was wrong. But no one pulled their weapon. I'm not upholding that, please. But what I am telling you is that please understand that some people are all human. Just because you may sit in the capacity of chair, nominator, or community engager doesn't mean that you treat people wrong. I'll close with saying this. What would God say if he wanted, would he say he could trust you with his people? So whatever you do in life, make sure you're serving them. Thanks for listening.
Wait, can I say one thing real quick?
So on that note, Carmelita, what's supposed to happen? The other officer should have intervened. It's called they have a duty to intervene. And when we were working on the use of force policy, because a lot of times, an officer can be going off the rail, and the partner can stand there and just watch this officer go off the rail. And it's like, no, you have a duty to correct your partner's behavior.
Somebody said there were too many people out there. He didn't want his butt whooped.
Now he should have told his partner, like, bro, let's get back in this car and chill.
real.
You know what I'm saying? It was something
Man, let
because
them
it
pick the
could have escalated into someone
folk
getting
breathe,
hurt,
man.
into multiple people getting hurt. So that and this is why it's so much more than them just being trained. It's like they gotta have something inside of them, but that's what they're supposed to do when their partner is not doing operating in integrity and professionalism. They're supposed to correct their behaviors and intervene. So
Agreed. So I actually skipped over a section in our agenda, and I need to go back to it. And that is the approval of the minutes from 6:12 as well as 5:15.
Okay, Dr. Lewis, we will start with the approval of June's 12th meeting, 2025. It was located at 5430 West Monroe. The start time was 5:56 p.m. We did have a quorum, all three of us, we had a quorum. It was 2 members out of 3 with a third one remotely partaking. The public comment basically stated, and I'll paraphrase, Adams and Menard requested more CPD visibility. 5300 block of Washington stated that 2 cars had been stolen on the block, and there was a slow response time with neighbors calling 911. Our neighbor also repeated that the 911 timely calls for patrol is a problem and unacceptable. Neighbors shared that a neighbor's home, which is a police officer's home, was tagged with graffiti in that same block. Neighbors also concerned about motorcycles coming off of Harrison's exit and taking over the street. I was almost ran over today. Neighbors concerned about excessive loitering occurring at Lotus and Madison, Lockwood and Madison, selling loose cigarettes and things of that nature, witnessing bike back and forth between 2 intersections. They like doing donuts and things of that nature. So they were asking for the loitering laws. We also approved our May meeting, and we talked about the difference between a district council meeting and a CAPS beat meeting, and as well as the automatic meetings, explaining that the various components are similar and overlapping, but each has a distinct role, as our councilors just explained. We also shared the history and the structure of the CCPSA and explained the responsibility roles of our councilors again. So therefore, the feedback for Bill Restorative Justice Conference attendees on the 30th were held, and the next meeting was announced. May I have a motion to accept the June 12th meeting unless there are any corrections?
No, I motion to accept June 12th meeting minutes.
Second.
Okay, it has been motioned by Dr. Ruda, second by Councilor Akoa. Thank you. She has a new name. Akoa. Councilor Akoa. And all in favor? Aye. Sorry, I'm a little silly today. I'm just glad to be alive. All right, so here we go. May 15th, 2025. It was held at the Harambe Garden, 440 North Lawler. That started at 5:37 p.m. And everybody was present. We had a 100% participation. Of course, the quorum was met. Community members raised repeated concerns about the lack of engagement from officers not reflecting the local community, and a dismissive attitude while they are trying to get service at the station. Commander Morris was present and acknowledged the issue. He reaffirmed the philosophy that each officer is a community police officer and each must show respect and accountability, and he promised that the ongoing emphasis on improving officers' interactions and morale. We discussed the need for seniors to be better understood. There is an urban myth, so therefore the 911 system is for emergencies, 988 is for mental health, 211 is for
Like social services.
social services, and 311, of course, is
City
your
services.
city services. Thank you, Dr. Rudis. Commitment to increase public awareness efforts on this topic in the upcoming agendas, as well as questions regarding the protocols for the various emergencies. Further stated, you have the agendas, right? So therefore, you will understand that motions to approve the February, March, April, and May minutes were basically done, as well as talking about the Aspire Center that opened on June 19th. There's copious amounts of information that is on the back of this, and it will be listed on our website. So may I have a motion to have this particular minute approved?
I move to approve meeting minutes from 5:15.
A second.
Okay, it has been motioned by Dr. Ruda, second by Councilor Akua. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and the ayes have it. So thank you. Therefore, I pass it back to Dr. Ruda.
All right, y'all. So the next part is where we need your support, because in the 15th district, we got 2 years remaining, and we don't want to leave these positions without some sort of legacy. That's not to say that we probably won't run for them again, but we don't know that right now, right? And so at the very minimum, we want to put something in place that can live on, and we can help shepherd into existence with you all's help, of course. And so what that is what we're developing now. We call it a community police tribunal. The name is up for debate, but ultimately what we're trying to do is create a three-headed structure that allows us, the community, and a police officer to mediate low-level conflicts between police and community and community, right? And so what we've done here is we've had conversation with Marcia Thompson Esquire, who actually led the first mediation here in the city of Chicago. She helped to develop it, and it has now since moved into COPA's purview. And so while they have something developing around mediation, we also want to have something around mediation that can live here in the district where we can handle our own issues. When I first got here, I heard a young lady say, we don't need the help of other people. We could do it ourselves. And that's how we feel about this particular piece here. And so we talked with her. She gave us some suggestions. Those suggestions were to come up with a mission statement, to come up with a name, that folks could actually buy into. Think about expansion of the idea, because at first it was just police to community conflicts, and then we wanted to also add communities to community conflicts. And so she said, well, what kind of conflicts would those be? So that came from it. The other thing is, how would people need to be trained as it related to this piece? Because we had a lot of different ideas of what this could be. It could be restorative justice, it could be mediation, it could be resolution, it could be racial healing and trauma informed. And so she was saying that's a lot, so we had to scale that down. And so we also decided, okay, we're gonna put that in front of community and they can guide us in that. And then the last piece was, how do we get buy-in from the multiple folks that need to be at the table? And we decided to also put that in front of the community so y'all can help us with that. So with that, we then took all of that information to Build's Restorative Justice Conference, and then we workshopped it there, and then we got some ideas. From those ideas, we decided we put everything together in this nice little summary, and then we workshopped it at our last meeting. And so we're gonna do it at this meeting, and then we're gonna do it at one more meeting after that. That way we making sure that community has input into what this will ultimately look like. When we finish that process, we will then take it back to Marcia Thompson, and she will give us further instruction, and then we will continue building this out. So with that, I am going to put forth some mission statements, and you all will vote on the mission statement that you like. Got it? Okay. So, some of the themes that came up when we did this particular summary, again, this is coming off of the conference we did at Build, were community ownership and empowerment, restorative justice in practice and principle, alternatives to policing and the legal system, building and repairing relationships, inclusivity, humanity, and voice. Those were some of the thoughts of the people in the room, right? Put those together and came up with the following mission statements. And again, the goal is for you all to hold on to the one that you like the best. We'll mark it here, and then we'll keep moving forward. Okay, so the first mission statement is to empower our community to resolve conflict through restorative dialogue, mutual accountability, and healing outside of the court system and led by the voices of those most impacted. The next one is to build a beloved community where all residents, youth, adults, and elders collaborate to resolve harm, restore trust, and keep our neighborhoods safe through non-punitive, inclusive processes. The next one is to provide a restorative alternative to policing that strengthens community relationships, centers shared humanity, and offers pathways to healing, accountability, and peace. And the final one is to foster a community-led process for addressing harm rooted in empathy, empowerment, and justice, where every voice is heard, every conflict is a chance to heal, and every block becomes a space of peace. So those are the mission statements that were developed off of the themes. Gave you all four. If you let me know if you need me to read them again, but if not, what would you like to see? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
I have to think of all of it sound what I remember the last 32 years. So nothing was different. I think when you were reading from the first one,
Okay. Well, she couldn't hear you.
Y'all mind being accountable?
but you know on that first one that you was reading, it had something to do with racism, racism. Yeah.
No. I'm gonna read them again. Because there's 4. Oh, you could.
Well, or maybe can we go through like one at a time and then get a feel for how they feel?
Okay. Yeah, sure. Sure, we can do that.
Because it was a lot.
Yeah, it is. I received it. Okay. I'm sorry, I should have had some of these for y'all, so that's my fault. Yeah. To empower our community to resolve conflict through restorative dialogue, mutual accountability and healing, outside of the court system, and led by the voices of those most impacted. Okay. To build a beloved community where all residents, youth, adults, and elders collaborate to resolve harm, restore trust, and keep our neighborhoods safe through non-punitive, inclusive processes.
Because it was inclusive.
Okay, it looked like about 3 for that one. 2? Can I see your pen? Okay. So we're going. Okay. To provide a restorative alternative to policing that strengthens community relationships, centers shared humanity, and offers pathways to healing, accountability, and peace. All right.
We need your voice. Don't be like
Mark, speak up.
Oh, I think you voted before. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
I
we
do.
are. You are.
Yeah, I sure do. I sure do.
That was number 3. Yeah. You like number 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I like all of them, but I like that two kind of specifically says elders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's youth, adults, and elders.
Yeah, I like that's what I like too.
Okay. And then the last one is to foster a community-led process for addressing harm rooted in empathy, empowerment, and justice, where every voice is heard, every conflict is a chance to heal, and every block becomes a space of peace.
I believe that first.
Wait a minute now.
Like I said,
I'm like,
She in church. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a
that's what
minute.
I'm hearing
Wait a
some
minute.
kind of way they should be consolidated.
Yeah.
Like, because they're all good. But I think, because that's kind of how we did before. Remember, we had like several and we kind of.
Well, I'll tell you this. So from the first one we did, 2 and 3 were the ones that were picked overall.
Okay.
So the way I'm kind of going is based off the ones that get the most votes, and then we'll put it together. So
So basically, you're going to combine 2 and 3.
it looks. I mean, well, it's in the lead. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they're in the lead, so they will get combined. So how are y'all feeling about 2 or 3? You mentioned you actually was number 3, number 2. So are you more leaning towards one of those 2? Number 3?
Yeah.
3? Okay. And then so we got you. So how you feeling? 3? You said 3. I got you guys. And Velda, you the last one then.
Yeah, she over there quiet. Speak up. Yeah.
I'm gonna read 2 and 3 because those seem to be the most resounding.
All right.
So number 2, Velda.
I'm sorry, but I gotta go. Just come over here.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, Velda. So
that's because you think I'm now.
So 2 is to build a beloved community where all residents, youth, adults, and elders collaborate to resolve harm, restore trust, and keep our neighborhoods safe through non-punitive, inclusive processes. And 3 is to provide a restorative alternative to policing that strengthens community relationships, centers shared humanity, and offers pathways to healing, accountability, and peace.
See, all that together sound like one.
Okay, so
It sounds like one complete thought when you read them together like that.
3 have an A, B, and C to go with it.
what do you mean?
She's talking about addendums and clauses, A clause, B clause, C clause. No, we good. Shoot, 3 it is.
Okay, all right.
3?
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, it's 2 and 3. They're still in the lead. Okay. All right, cool. So thank you all so much. That was again, and one of the things I'd like to do, because we did this same process for our own mission statement for the 15th District Council, and we came up with a mission statement that was rooted in the community's feedback. So ours is, in the 15th district, we as district councilors are driven by a profound mission to forge a sanctuary of safety where accountability takes root through the genuine connections between our diverse residents and CPD. We will ensure that every voice spanning from our youth to our seniors resonates with importance as we pledge to unite, educate, and empower all. Right, and so that's our mission statement, and we live by that. As you can see, we all about like educating and making sure the community's up on what's going on, and we've gone to the school at Austin to talk straight to the youth, and now we in the gardens talking to the our seniors. So we making sure that we live by that. So we want to make sure that that mission statement is what I mean, because I know you said it's 32 years, but like we live in what we writing though, So
And it might be 32 more. I
Yeah.
mean, it is. It
Yeah.
is what it is. But I do think, and I was in a meeting the other day, and I oh wait, let me see that.
That's okay.
Oh, let me see that one.
No, and I do hear you, Ms. Velda, because my parents moved to Austin in 1967, and I've seen a lot, and to be perfectly honest, I almost, instead of seeing an incline, like things were growing and getting better, there was a decline. but I am, because of all the work that I'm doing, all the engagement, I am seeing a incline again. But it's hard though, because it's still so much going on and so much happening. But I am starting to see an incline. And I was in a meeting the other day, and I told someone I do see Austin growing and glowing. And so I ain't blaming our people for this. We're gonna blame the colonizers. I don't care what nobody say. If we had resources here, if we had money here, if we had the things that we needed here when we needed them, of course it would be different, And so we fight for everything: education, healthcare, housing. We still fighting fights that they were fighting in the 60s, in the 50s, and the 40s. And so sometimes we gotta keep fighting, but I do believe things are getting better, Miss Velda. But can I share a little bit about and I also want to say that 15, we are very fortunate. We're very fortunate to have Carmelita, who is a very high-ranking fire chief. So she's always talking about we bring institutional knowledge. She brings institutional knowledge. And then to have DeAndre, who was working with the NYU, but it's NPI. It's the Neighborhood Policing Initiative.
Yeah.
And then for me to come with the background of the coalition experience and relationships, so we have access to a lot. And one of the things about this mediation piece that we're trying to do, because COPA, the Civilian Office of Police Accountability, they're also working on a mediation program, which is similar but different, because ours is up close and personal. We're talking about we want to handle things in 15 amongst ourselves. We don't want to have to send it to COPA. We don't have to our community members waiting, to get resolved. We want to do it here.
Yeah.
So Marcia Thompson, who he mentioned, this is who is facilitating this meeting on the 22nd at Bill. If you all can come out and meet her, she's a dynamic sister. She is lending herself to us. She's a civil rights attorney. She's also a professor. I worked with her on the coalition, on the Consent Decree Coalition. She was a consultant for the city. And when she came to the meeting at DeAndre at the Rudis Center, after that, she said, I love seeing people passionate about their communities. And so now she's even more invested, and that's why this next meeting, she's like, I'm coming to Austin. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, come bring it to Austin. So, we're gonna keep building these relationships, because I keep telling people Austin is gonna be the place to, if you ain't here now, it's gonna be the place to come back to. I don't care what nobody say, I just feel it, right? People gonna be trying to get back up in here. So we're building relationships, but I just want to give that kudos to Marcia Thompson, but she's gonna work with us, and we're gonna eventually get to a pilot. We're gonna get to our pilot. We kind of sort of got a little pilot happening right now, unofficially, because me and Carmelita helping a community member, with some things. So we got a little pilot. As a matter of fact, we might need to look at it like that. We got our little pilot situation. Yeah, and then see what the outcome is gonna be. But so 15, we are the jewel. We are the gem. I ain't trying to brag or boast, but so thank you.
She got a question.
Oh,
You want to say something?
wait, I feel like
No, I just wanted to applaud them for what they do, what they have done.
She got a question.
Did you have a question?
Yes, you do.
Oh, okay.
You a ventriloquist? You speaking? Okay, what's the question?
Her question is, why is other people coming to our neighborhood?
Oh,
We didn't do that. We didn't do it.
From time, Lotus, Old to Long, we have people that are coming in our neighborhood that don't speak English. So the tough part is when they come into the neighborhood, by them not speaking English, it's hard to get along with them. So we have asked the alderman, we have asked different people to, like when you put up the street sweeping signs, or when you want them to do something, move their cars, or no working on the street, we need their language
Translated,
so they can see it. So it don't cause a problem by somebody, they watch real well, and your window get broken, your car get on the flat. So that's the unsafety that's coming around in the area, just like on Pine, there's very little people that can park on Pine once you come home. Because mostly if they come into the neighborhood, they live in an apartment, it's like 6 cars of each apartment. So then the parking spills out over here. And then when we have street sweeping, we don't know who the cars belong to. And then if you go over to a loan, they forever on the hood of the car, you have to jack it up. You know, they leave their trucks with junk on it, you block the alley. And you can't call the police, cause really ain't nothing.
That ain't a police issue.
What time we need to have a special meeting about that though? Because you would think that the city would have done its due diligence because they know they're replacing them in our communities. And you would think that our city government would have,
I'm saying we know what happened, right? And we know how they ended up in our neighborhoods and in our communities. But you would, in my simple mind, I would think that our local government would have did a better job at what that would look like for all of us, including them, right? Because if they can't communicate with us and we can't communicate with them, that's an issue. And I was just saying that maybe we need to have a special meeting because this is coming up quite a bit.
Yeah.
And so we can always call a special meeting, but to me, that would definitely be a meeting where we would have to have alders present. We would definitely have to have some decision makers present in that room so they can understand that. And you are right, why should we have to ask people to make literature so they can understand it? Like, that's just me and my simple mind. I just never know what be happening around here, but we could put together a special meeting and address that.
So now I got to the point, like we got street sweeping coming up. It's hard to move cars around because they don't see that they park
They don't
and they
know.
cut through the lot, but they don't see the signs and no parking.
They don't know nothing about the street sweeping sign.
But I would just
When our parking meters, people come over to write tickets, they all up in their face. And so now it become a danger for them to even come around and write tickets. If they see.
But then, too, I hate to say it, but maybe even think about permit parking. Yep. That's a good.
But if there's permit parking, they don't even understand that they're supposed to have permit parking, so then that's still gonna be an issue.
So, but that's gonna have to be their issue at that point, because people who do understand, you know what I'm saying, that they live on a block and they're registered, you know, to live in that apartment, you can't have all those vehicles, and that's the point of, you know, a lot of the crime and stuff where cars, like you're saying, are being left. There's a lot of times too where they are being abandoned or whatever the case may be, and they're just left on the block. So that would help, because then that's when you call not just the police, but you call the Department of Finance. They'll send somebody around. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So just think about that too.
Yeah, but the other thing that comes with that is if you owe the city some money, you can't get it.
Permit parking.
Somebody will have to get the situation straightened out. They would have to get this, you know.
It's interesting, Bill. Every time I put the mic in front of your face, you stop talking. So, okay.
Okay, just to piggyback on what everybody's talking about, all the over excess parking, and not only that, where I live, the people have dumpsters that they leave, and I'm not sure, but to my understanding, you're not supposed to have business equipment in residential areas. Yeah, and there's some they have built galvanized tall fences so that you can't see what they're doing, but it's visible. And then I feel like it's a unsafe circumstance, because when the kids are walking, we got these big trucks, we got these big dumpsters, and it might be a park in front of the dumpster, but we can't see it until after we passed it up. So it's where I live, there's 2 of them there all at all times. So like you said, there needs to be some type of person that's highly officiated to look into these situations, because they and permit parking as well, because it's too many of them taking up all the park. People's on every block. So now probably all the radius around here, you can't find parks. I have a garage, but you know, most people, I try to advocate for them. All of them to see what can be done about that, you know, because like I say, there's 5 or 6 families, all of them got cars. So maybe if we get permit parking, that will eliminate some of that.
Let me just say this. You know, when you understand the resources that's available to you,
First of all, I'm so glad for the information. It's a beautiful thing. And we will send it to the proper places. But as a resident, as a taxpayer resident in whatever ward that you're in, understanding the resources, yes, business, trucks and things of that nature should not be on a residential street. That's when you make your voice heard. When you serve, you are deserved to be heard. You serve by putting your tax dollars in the coffer. Make sure that when you are voting for someone, you let them know that you want them to serve you because you are serving. Unfortunately, what we do is we come in these particular settings, and I'm not jumping on anybody. We come in these settings and we do not follow up. Real simple. You have all those people on your block that's calling. Eventually, the car will get booted. It's a process. Trust the process. Keep calling. Trust the process. Let them get the ticket. Trust the process. They don't pay the ticket. Everyone understands one thing. No matter whether you're Caucasian or black, green will get us to the same level. So therefore, permit parking, things of that nature, it doesn't matter. Call whatever you need to do. I know that Galvanese fence you're talking about. It's on Ferdinand and Leamington, as a matter of fact. But here, your alderman, if the fence is legal, they should have pulled a permit to build it, and then the building inspector should have came and approved it. If it's not approved, guess what? They need to take it down. So therefore, you get your neighbors, you sign a petition, you take it to the alderman's office, and you basically have Alderman Mitz to do what's needed in the spirit of public safety. All right? Great.
You have a question over there?
Oh, sorry, Loretta.
That's okay. Good evening, everybody. Marissa Brown Miller, and I live on the north side of Austin, and we have the same problem as the parking and everything. I have a neighbor who has 2 buildings, and they have like 7 cars between the 2 households. They have garages, but they don't put the cars in the garage. Now the other week when there was street cleaning on our side, my girlfriend, she came there from out of town, and they had cleaned the side of the street that had the sign on there. So she saw, I guess, the meter person or whatever, and she asked them, well, since they clean, could she park on that side? And he said no, because he came through, then his supervisor, then it was a 3rd supervisor that came. And my neighbor across the street, who knows better, they got a ticket. It didn't matter that she had a handicap placard in the car, in the vehicle, but she didn't move. So they do come around, but you still have to call 311. Just call 311 and tell them it's street sweeping and you need to send somebody out there. And also, if a car has not moved in 7 days in one spot, you call, let them know, they will come out, they will ticket it, and then they'll come back and it can be removed. Because parking is a very big issue all over in Austin. So just make sure that you can do that. 311, go to your beat meetings, go to your CAPS meeting, because I belong to all of those. I'm in the 25th district, but I work in 11, 15, 25. And we just have to know and share the information with everybody what we need to do. And make sure, I was also informed that you can call your alderman, you can do all of that, all your elected officials, call them, but they said the worst thing to do for them is to put it in writing.
Yep.
Because that's a paper trail. Nobody wants a paper trail. And when you write those letters, give them 2 to 3 weeks. You want a response in 2 to 3 weeks, because it'll stay out there in infinity. And they think that we are not interested. But write down what you want. Yes, you may call the first time, but the second time you write a letter. And then the third time, that's when you do a follow-up letter.
Okay. So, spirited conversation, but I would like to finish the tribunal piece. So,
Yes.
yeah, I'm gonna get back to
special
that.
meeting for
Okay.
We'll get back to that.
Wait, at the special meeting, or we should just?
No, we're gonna create a special meeting for this conversation. we
Okay,
just
yeah,
had.
yes. One of the things that we were doing over here was looking up to see what type of resources are available in the mayor's office. So there's the mayor has an office of refugee, immigrant, and migrant rights. And so that may be the particular group that could come out and actually have those conversations. And so we'll
And to
look
help
further.
get information
Yeah.
translated so they can understand it.
We did, and they said that we'll work on that.
Oh, Lord,
The
you know
different
what that
things. Then
means.
he came back out and said, oh, city is paid on board.
Oh,
All right, well, we'll try. Well, we'll try. All right, so we were talking about the tribunal, right? Folks were saying that the name tribunal was a little bit too much for them, and so we wanted to at least talk about renaming it. So some of the things that came about was that they wanted something with a little bit more inclusivity, maybe a little bit more cultural resonance. Well, actually, that's what tribunal was. Tribunal sounded inclusive and cultural to some folks, but there was a lot of concerns with the name. Some accepted the name, and others said they wanted something with a little bit more relation and restorative language around it. And so these are some of the names that we proposed that could be used in place of tribunal. All right, so these are the community-centered options. We have People's Peace Council, Community Peace Circle, Neighborhood Justice Alliance, Restorative Roots Council, Beloved Community Board. Anything out of those resonate?
well, maybe go back like we did,
Yeah,
like say
so-
the first one and see how many
Oh.
votes it get.
Okay, which one? Community Peace Circle. Okay, we got one for that. All right, so it's People's Peace Council, Community Peace Circle, Neighborhood Justice Alliance, Restorative Roots Council, and Beloved Community Board. Okay, gotcha. Any thoughts about the name that you all like out of those? People's Community Peace, okay. People's Peace Council,
No, I like the one out.
Justice Alliance, okay, gotcha.
Well, I don't know, I kinda like People's Peace Council.
People's Peace
Uh-huh.
Council, okay. People's Peace Alliance, I mean, we could, same thing if there's some, if we can, any other thoughts about, which one you wanna go with here?
What you can do is name the one and say how many people for that. If you do the second one,
Okay, bet.
do the third one.
Uh, right, yeah, you did. So People's Peace Council, Community Peace Circle, Neighborhood Justice Alliance, Restorative Roots Council, and Beloved Community Board. All right, these are the restorative process oriented names. Community Mediation Forum, Peace and Justice Circle, Healing and Accountability Council, okay, and Conflict Transformation Collective. Okay, and then these are some names with tribunal in them. The Community Justice Tribunal, the Peace Circle Tribunal, the People's Tribunal for Healing and Harmony, and Restorative Tribunal of the West Side. Okay, just the one. Oh, that's funny.
Did you say tribunal?
Tribunal?
That's funny.
Sound like, yeah.
All right, so the next one. Oh, what is a tribunal? Oh, so a tribunal is we really wanted to focus on like our ancestry, African ancestry. So a tribunal is generally just a council of individuals that handle community-led issues, right? In some cases, though, it could look like a legislative process. So some folks refer to a tribunal as something that has a legal connotation to it. But when we were thinking about it, it was more focused on our African roots, which would be where the collective would gather to handle issues.
A definition of it simply says it's a body that decides or determines. Yeah.
So, sorry. Yeah. Okay, all right. So, moving quickly. So we wanted to handle community to community conflicts, and these were some of the things that came from. So the folks were saying that we need to there's a need for non-police conflict resolution. We need preventative and community building orientation. We need clear guideline structure and outreach. We need a restorative framework with broad reach, and we need training and empowerment of local mediators. Oh, y'all not afraid of no rain. It's just rain. Okay, so yeah, at 8. We got like 2 things. Okay. Quickly. Okay, so are you all in favor of expanding our scope to include neighborhood level issues like noise, pets, parking, and cleanliness? Okay. Looks like everybody is in favor of that. And then oh, you know what? No, this one is fine. Like, I just think, yeah, we're fine on that one. Okay, so we needed to figure out where the focus should be with this particular tribunal. And so I'll read these off. You just tell me, what do you think it should focus on? Healing centered and not blame centered. Focus on healing and restoration, not blame. It should focus on everyday conflict resolution with structural awareness, address low-level conflicts while acknowledging root causes like trauma and inequity. Okay, it should have restorative justice practices as the core process. So we use peace circles and other restorative models as a practice. And then the last one would be, it would be focused on community education and empowerment. We should be educating the community about their rights, resources, and collective solutions. Okay, looks like. Okay. Okay, and the very last thing is, how do we build buy-in? So we need to develop a broad-based community engagement plan, position our police as partners, launch a pilot, which we talked about, and share stories from it, incentivize participation with benefits, so that could be education credits, a diversion opportunity, and then we need to invest in visibility and education campaigns, so utilizing local venues like this and ambassadors to spread awareness and engagement. Is there anything in there that I read that we should not be doing?
Does somebody have a ride coming to pick them up?
I have a ride to pay Smith, that's next Smith.
No?
Might be the next building over.
Okay.
The clinic. Huh?
Yeah, this 330. 330 North Lotus. All right, so anything that we should not be doing within that I mentioned? Okay. Well, that was it. So we got all y'all feedback. Won't hold you any longer. Oh, yes. Shit. Okay. All right. Okay, so last thing. In the 15th district, we always like to point out a community member or a person that is instrumental in public safety or policing, people that have done it for a long time. And we call these folks our we present them with Living Legacy Awards. We also do the same thing with officers. When we call it the Above and Beyond Award. And so we wanted to make sure that we acknowledge. Okay. Miss Velda Bruner for the work that she's been doing in our community for a long time. And before we present her with this award, we would like for Carmelita to read her bio to y'all.
And listen, Velda Bruner has been a civilian employee of the Chicago Police Department for 32 years in various districts. She's the mother of 2 sons, Amir and Herman. She's a 20-year resident of this particular block of Lotus. Her parents, the Bruners, have basically been a staple in the East Chicago community for over half a century around the Monroe and Pulaski area. She's CPS educated, Delano, which is right in the 11th district. She's, Marshall educated, and then she comes back. This is what happens when you have been a seed planted on the west side to come back and represent your family. Velda ran for alderman in 2010. As a matter of fact, she and I were on the same ticket. She basically removed herself from the ballot so that she could support my particular campaign. She's the current elected official of the committee person for the 37th Ward. Yes, she's not only serving in various positions, but Velda has a great heart. She's the stapler for Block Club organization. So if there's something that you need for your particular block, make sure that you touch that. So that being stated, I have a lot of things to say about her, but it's raining outside, so I'll tell her over the phone. So that being stated, can you get that wine? And Dr. DeAndre Ruiz will do the rest.
All right, so this Living Legacy Award. It says that leadership is about making others better as a result of your presence and making sure that the impact lasts in your absence. So this is a certificate of our appreciation. So this is in grateful recognition of your community service and dedication. And we present you, Velda Bruner, with this Living Legacy Award. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry.
Stand in the middle. And we all got on mic.
Hey! But that's our one badge. That's our one badge.
That's in the mic. Oh, so that's like we're bringing some wine.
Yeah,
out
that's
the
it.
microphone. What you doing, photographer?
Let me get one more. Let me get one more, y'all.
Oh, wait, he said one more.
All right.
She starts smiling harder when she gets that wine out of her hand.
All right, so we got last thing. Okay, so we have no votes to make because we'll short some stuff up.
Was we supposed to be?
All right. So we need to vote on moving our meetings to the second Thursday again.
Are you done now?
Yeah. Okay.
So, if we leave it where it was,
It's the second.
I was moving the Thursday, but this is temporary or what?
No,
No,
we're moving back to the second.
Thursday.
So you can put the motion.
We did that in the...
No,
We didn't make a
we
motion
didn't.
to take it to Thursday. We moved it from Thursday, right? So that's why I don't agree with that. So tell him put it in writing. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go. We don't have to vote for that.
Okay.
That's a yes.
So we have. So we have no votes to take.
I'm serious.
We have no votes to take.
And we're going to do like all the other elected
But we do
officials. We're gonna take
have.
our time, get back to it.
We have announcement of our next regular meeting, which would be August 14th at 5:30, and we'll be at. Yeah, are you sitting somewhere?
Yeah, that's her garden. I think it's
Yep.
Grace and Mercy.
We will be at the Mercy Garden of Peace and Healing, which is 4910 West Quincy.
Oh, that's Miss Bertha Purnell.
That's over on the other side, right?
That was her garden.
Other side over by Laramie?
It's on Quincy on the other side of
Right on the
Laverne.
hospital.
No, it's on Quincy on the other side of
where?
Laverne.
Well, okay, on the other side of
All right. You want to make a motion to?
It's
east of Laramie. Quincy, I know right by the post office.
Yeah.
Right over there by the.
That's
Talk to
the
you
sister.
later.
Yes, it's
Oh, yeah,
down
you
street from
can-
the
you know.
school.
You wanna make a motion to end our meeting at 17?
Oh, yes, I motion that we bring our 15th District Council meeting to an end at 7:10 p.m. Thank you.
I second.
The motion has been rendered and second. All in favor? Ayes have it. Listen, good evening. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank y'all so much.